In this video, I'm going to be putting two of the most popular rhythm games head to head to figure out which one is the better workout. Beat Saber versus Synth Riders. Number one, learning curve. Now, when you've played both of these games, you can kind of make this assessment for yourself. Beat Saber has a swinging sabers, and Synth Riders, you're basically holding onto orbs and you're trying to match the location of the orbs with your hands. And when it comes to this one, the learning curve, I'm going to say is a tie. Even though some of you might struggle with one over the other, a lot of times there's a bias that's already built into you. Let's say you're playing Beat Saber and you switch over to Synth Riders. It may seem harder because you're already used to one as opposed to the other. Now, I've played both of these games as a newbie from the beginning, and I can tell you right out of the gate, they're both pretty challenging to master. I still haven't mastered it, but I'm working on it. So the only reason I could see this not being a tie is if you're not very good at dancing, because Synth Riders has a big dancing component and Beat Saber doesn't. Beat Saber's more like playing whack-a-mole on steroids, whereas Synth Riders is more like a Zumba-inspired kind of dance, sort of rhythm-based game. Number two, total body movement. Now, this is where we start getting tricky, because while Beat Saber has you squatting down or leaning down, depending on what your face ability is, Synth Riders does use more of your arms and, total body movement than Beat Saber. So the winner for total body movement is going to Synth Riders. Reason for that, Synth Riders, you're using your arms in a lot of different planes of movement, as opposed to Beat Saber, you're technically going sagittal plane, which is this one here, and you're going here, which is your transverse plane. Anything that turns this way is going to be transverse. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of what we call the frontal plane, which is this one here, whereas Synth Riders has you doing all of the above. So total body movement goes to Synth Riders. The visuals. Now, you're going to get mad at me, but that's okay. I'm used to people not watching my videos and then hate commenting down below. So I'm not worried about this. The visuals is going to be a tie for me. Now, a lot of you are going to say Synth Riders is better. A lot of you are going to say Beat Saber is better. And I think this part is going to be me breaking it down to what I believe you're actually looking at. Now, with Synth Riders, obviously they have some different downloadable content that you can get, like the Muse algorithm, which is awesome. Awesome. If you haven't played Algorithm by Muse, you need to play it now. But then you have Beat Saber, and their latest release, such as Interscope Records, is going to have a different sort of visual appeal as well. So as things come out, the visuals seem to be matched up. However, I am going to call this one a tie. Music. Now, with the music, it's going to be tricky because I know most of you have modded Beat Saber, and I myself have modded Synth Riders. Even though it's not really a mod, it's more just like throwing songs onto your headset. So we have to look at the base music that comes with it, as well as the downloadables that you can pay for. I'm going to be ignoring a lot of the mods and a lot of extras that other people have made, only because it's not really fair to do that. And we're looking at it, in my opinion, Beat Saber wins the music category. And I'm going to tell you why. With Beat Saber, you're going to find a lot of music that you may be interested in listening to afterwards. It comes out with a lot of music that you may like. Imagine Dragons, the Interscope Records, which is my personal favorite so far because I'm old and old people like this kind of music. But again, this is tough because this may be a personal preference and you may enjoy that Synth Riders, cyberpunk, synthwave, electric circus music that they have. I forget what it's called. Caravan. It's called Electro Swing. Oh my god, I'm so old. So for me personally, I like the music that comes with Beat Saber more than I like the music that comes with Synth Riders. However, I do like synthwave and I do like that kind of music. It's just not the kind of music that I like to like dance or move to. I know that's just a hot mess expressive opinion, but again, this is subjective here. The prices are the same. The downloads are the same. So this is a tie. Next, custom mapping. Okay, listen. I'm gonna get so much hate. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for your hate in the comments. I'm prepared. I'm tough. Grown man. For me, goes to Synth Riders. Now wait. Don't change Don't turn the video off. Okay, let me explain myself, okay? The reason I like the custom mapping better on Synth Riders than I do for Beat Saber is a lot of time when you look at the custom mapping, which don't get me wrong, on Beat Saber, there's plenty of cool custom maps. I like a lot of them. And it's becoming more of, it's becoming less of a fun experience and more just a, how fast can you do this? Now for me, that's not really that fun. I mean, it's impressive to see somebody do that, I guess. However, I don't really care for the methed out waifu, blindingly fast beats that some Beat Saber mods are. But I notice when I go to Synth Riders, and if you go to Synth Riders website, you can find a lot of mapping for songs that I really, really enjoy, such as like old songs like Prince, Whitney Houston, Katy Perry, which I know, they exist on Beat Saber as well. However, the mapping for me, I feel like you can get more creative with on Synth Riders because you can move, again, this comes back down to movement. You can move in a different way with Synth Riders than you can in Beat Saber. And Beat Saber, the most you can do is this. Whereas Synth Riders, you can kind of tell a story with your hands, which is what dancing can do as well. Overall challenge. So I've been learning Beat Saber and Synth Riders from the beginning at the same time. I haven't been like, oh, I'm all Synth Riders and then I go to Beat Saber, or vice versa. However, I think that gives me an advantage because I can look at that objectively and I'm not married to one of the two. The overall challenge, in my opinion, goes to Beat Saber. And the reason I think Beat Saber is more challenging than Synth Riders is because the reaction time needed to complete a song in Beat Saber can get really, really challenging and really, really aggressive. If you look, I failed more times on the expert songs with Beat Saber than I did with the expert songs on Synth Riders because it gets so intense and so high in the difficulty that it becomes so challenging, and you really have to practice if you want to get it right. With Synth Riders, I felt like there's a lot more room for error, and you can kind of like sometimes wave your arms and accidentally get the notes right more than you can in Beat Saber, where if you're off by a beat, the whole thing just falls apart. So the overall challenge goes to Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a harder game to play. It's more challenging. Last but not least, we're down to the most important part of a workout, the results you get from it. Now, the reason I talk about all of the different other things is because just because a workout is challenging doesn't mean it's a good workout. If you go to a gym and you go to like a boot camp and they're just throwing at you the hardest things they can and you're sweating and you're dying, you're probably not going to enjoy it very much. But if you take into consideration all the other things, for example, the music, the people, the instructor, all those different things, they're going to contribute to a better workout that might be something that you can accomplish and want to come back to, as opposed to the drill sergeant yelling at you, push-ups, 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 burpees, whatever. You're not going to want to come back to that. Therefore, it's not going to be a very good workout for you. Some people might like it. Those people are insane. So, workout results. Let's look at the data. Even though, and this is not like a brag for me, neither of them really got me that high in the heart rate zone. I got a better, quote unquote, workout from Beat Saber than I did with Synth Riders. And the reason for this is because I feel like the movements in Beat Saber are a lot more intense. They're intentional, and you're actually like moving in a certain way. Whereas opposed to Synth Riders, you're kind of waving and dancing, and you can get away with less forceful movement and less intentional movement and more just like kind of floating around in space. Now I know what you're going to say, so let me finish your sentence. I didn't do force mode. You're right. I did not do force mode. The reason I didn't do force mode was because I feel like when I'm doing force mode, and if you don't know what force mode is where you change it to, instead of rhythm, you're hitting the beats harder, which would give you more intentional movement. You're right. You're absolutely right. But what I found when I did force mode was that it threw my rhythm off so much, because I don't really think Synth Riders was meant to be played like that, where you're punching things. When you get into the higher levels, they can go everywhere, and it's more like you have to kind of fluidly move into it, as opposed to like trying to punch everything, and it's not a fun experience for me, and I don't think that adding that little thing there matches the intentional movements of Beat Saber. So you're gonna, I myself got less of a workout because of this. So let's look at the conclusion, and don't click away just yet because there's a couple little tidbits I want you to hear in this part too. While Beat Saber does win the like whole, it takes the cake, as they say. I wish I had that cake. What's going to work better for you is the game that you enjoy. So if you like Beat Saber and you're getting a good workout from it, awesome. If you like Synth Riders more and you're getting a workout from it, that's not to say that you shouldn't play something else or you shouldn't consider that a workout, especially if it's working for you. What workout works for you is going to be the best one for you. I know that sounds simple and stupid, but listen, it goes back to what I was saying about the gym workout that you like. I like rollerblading, I like biking, I like this and that. If that's what you like and it gets you a workout, you should do that one, even if there's something out there that does more for you. Because when we look at the actual data, the calorie count, you should never look at anyone else's calorie count. And I don't think fitness people should be saying, look how many calories I burn, because caloric burn is very dependent on you as a person. If you're 300 pounds and never worked out, you're going to burn a lot more calories than someone who's like 120 pounds and works out a lot, because your body is less used to it and your body's doing a whole bunch of other things that it's a completely different video. But when trainers post their calories burned per minute or whatever, it's not really important. And you should be looking at your heart rate zones. And that's what I want you to look at in my data, is heart rates versus the other heart rates. And for me personally, they stayed pretty low. But you have to remember, I'm pretty well conditioned. I do a lot of other stuff outside of VR, such as rowing and biking and boxing. So my conditioning level is going to be higher than someone who may be just new to this. So my calories and my heart rate levels are going to be a lot different. Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you want more fitness tips from a true fitness professional, my name is Ari with FitPro VR, and don't forget to get your workout in today.